Hello, everybody, and welcome to Orms Air, the Orms podcast. Except you're not listening to the podcast. What you're listening to is a part of a full conversation that we've had. To listen to the full conversation, go wherever you listen to podcasts. All the links are in the description below. If you like what you hear, be sure to subscribe, and you'll always be a part of the conversation. But with you, I thought it might be quite interesting to start off by talking about the Am I Next March, and more specifically the images that you captured.
Sure.
So, for those non-South African listeners of ours, the Am I Next March happened throughout our country last week and was a coming together of people to take a stand against gender-based violence, which sadly has become quite an epidemic in our country, and which has left many, if not all of us, feeling scared and quite angry that no noticeable action and change has taken effect. So that's just a little bit about the march and sort of where we are I suppose in our emotional state at the moment. So I wanted to ask you more about your experience of the march.
My experience was actually a very positive one.
Okay.
Which I actually didn't know how
Yeah.
I felt going into it. I didn't know what the outcome would be. It was a very mixed emotional experience, as I think for everyone. It was, but I was very pleasantly surprised at the love that was shown throughout the march, and I mean through everyone.
Yeah.
So from everyone that was angry, from the guys, from the girls, from everyone, there was this kind of rallying force, a kind of rallying love that we were all kind of on the same page, and we all had enough of this, regardless of gender, age, race, whatever the case is. Everyone that was there had the same mindset, and it was really beautiful to see that we were all kind of rallying behind this thing, and pushing it forward. I think that's something about the images that you were able to capture, that feeling. You can feel it as the viewer. You can feel the unity. You can feel the sort of solidarity that everybody has come together for this one purpose. And like you said, the lines are blurred between the things that separate us when we're united. Yeah.
How do you, I suppose, in that sort of scenario where you are in a march environment and there are emotions running high, how do you approach people to ask or to sort of take that first step into approaching them to take their photograph?
It's a very interesting thing, and it extends more than within the march. I think it extends within a documentary sphere as well, where it's first and foremost, we are humans. So I don't want to be this robot behind a camera just taking photos of everything. So if it was a person, I make sure my camera is seen and it's around my neck or it's in front of me so people can see it. But I always try to establish contact with them verbally first. I want to go talk to them, or I'll go ask about a sign they have, or if there's a group of them, like, just begin conversation, and then from there I introduce myself, so forth, saying, kind of create that contact first, not just saying, listen, I'm this weird person standing back taking a photo of you and then I'm moving on, but I'm actually interested in what you're saying and what you're standing for and all that. And then from there they feel a lot more comfortable, I feel a lot more comfortable, and then I think the emotion is able to relay through the image a lot better, and then from there I can take the photo and move forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a beautiful way of approaching it, because you're almost establishing an emotional connection with this human that you may never have met before in your entire life. But
exactly.
Yeah, and that definitely translates. Yeah.
I think it's very important. It's kind of what separates some photos from other ones. It's got that emotional connection to it.
And then I wanted to ask, so your image is very respectful of like a highly emotional space, but are there any like sort of tips and tricks that you could pass along to photographers who maybe want to sort of start approaching that sort of photography, or street photography or action photography, more like photojournalist stuff? How would you, I don't know if there's anything that you can pass along?
Tips. Aside from the technicalities, is to know your gear. Like, know what you have and know how to use it. If you have an idea for a shot, you should know exactly what lens, what camera, what setting, what lighting is going to create that desired effect. And aside from that, once you know that, and once you are always keeping an eye out for composition, so like if you see something, you can either be like, okay, this will be amazing from this angle, or something like that. Always be on the lookout for that. But as I said before, it's like that humanitarian or that human thing in the beginning is the most important.
The connection.
Exactly, that connection. So whether it be photojournalism or street photography or something, I think it's always important, and what will make the work stand out more is that human connection.
Yeah, completely.
Because it is, you can often tell, especially even if it even relates through certain lenses. Like if I shoot with a telephoto, like a 70-200, you can get really nice images.
Yeah.
But there's something different about shooting with, let's say, like a 35mm or going wide and being close. It's just that you can tell that you're close and you're in that person's space and you're in that environment. And it relates this human sort of emotional connection. So it's knowing, the two things are just knowing your gear, that you can use it basically blindfolded and know what everything does. Yeah. And then it's be human, like just be there in the present. Sometimes put the camera down if someone needs help. Like there were at the march, there were many times where people had anxiety attacks or heat stroke and stuff, and we were there. Like I remember helping this one lady, like giving her Coke, and we or sugar and water and stuff, and we took her out because she was just experiencing the thing. I don't have any photos of those because I would prefer to be, or I chose to be human in that instance rather than exactly. I'd rather help out than sit there taking photos. So yeah, that's, I think, is a big thing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us.